Sharon.
All right, everyone. We are back live here on YouTube, the Living in San Diego off the 56 channel. So we're going to talk about everything there is to know about San Diego. Feel free to leave your questions in the chat here as we're going to go live answering all your questions.
Yes.
We're also going to talk about some of our favorite things here in San Diego.
Yes.
So, favorite coffee shops, restaurants, all that good stuff. We're also going to have a guest here, the same guest we had last time. So we're not very original here on Off the 56.
No surprises.
Dan Parker will be on the show with us. He will answer some of your real estate questions as we are starting to partner up here in San Diego. And just so we can cover the whole city. Apparently, San Diego is pretty large, and it's hard for us to cover it all.
San Diego County is huge.
Agreed.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to bring Dan onto the show here. Let's see if this works. Oh, Dan Parker. He's
Hey,
back.
Courtney, Bern, how you guys doing
I
today?
know, where'd you come from? Fancy seeing you here. So like we mentioned, we're going to talk about the San Diego real estate market. We're going to talk about some of our favorite things. Maybe we'll start with our favorite things first.
Sure, I would love to.
Reasonable?
And it's say 5:30 here.
Oh yeah, it is
cheers.
happy hour here. So Dan, before we get started,
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers, Dan.
first, and what are we all drinking here today?
Dan's having a glass of water.
Dan,
This looks like a glass of water.
Okay.
It's an
Glass of
Ashland
water.
hard cider. This is actually made in San Diego.
Wow.
okay, great.
I should have brought the can.
Mine is not made in San Diego, but I have Pliny the Elder here. So that's one of my favorites. It's a California beer at least, but it's
that's
not
right.
San Diego
What
beer.
does the name mean? Should I know that?
I think
feel
it's like a
somebody...
Greek mythology thing, isn't
Okay,
it? Pliny the
sure.
Elder?
Mine's not as cool as Pliny
Yes.
the Elder because mine's just called Babe, which is
All right.
also very fitting, guys.
Named after me, whatever.
Named after Bern is what I meant to say. Pinot Grigio with bubbles. I love some bubbles. I also like a seltzer and some bubbles.
Great.
And where's
so
that
that's-
from?
This?
It's probably from
I think it is.
Costco.
I think it's California. But it's the can's really cute. The marketing's really good. They really know where to get you. It's Modesto. Modesto,
All right.
Modesto,
California.
There we go.
Wow.
Modesto's in the house. That's great.
There are a lot of babes in Modesto.
I guess. It's named after the pigs. I don't
A lot
know.
of cans.
In Bern, the owner and the head brewer for Russian River got his start in San Diego. So I still
really?
see that as
Okay.
a San Diego beer.
I
Oh
did
yeah.
not know that. So that's
Yeah, Vinny from Russian River.
we are going to do a brewery tour one of these days. We just have not gotten around.
Yes.
So okay,
Well, should we live stream the whole brewery tour?
I don't know if we want that. I'm not sure if we want that on video, but
You don't
we'll
want
talk
that
about it.
Lurking.
All right, so we're going to start with some of our favorite things. We're all going to name one of our favorite things. So
Mhm.
number one on our list, favorite restaurant. Go, Dan, you first.
Okay. I feel like we're gonna have to share some screens and show people some of these places for people that haven't been to San Diego,
that's
just to show them how
probably-
great these are.
That's a problem.
But, all right, so
No.
so you told me to do my favorite restaurant, and that's like the most
I know
loaded
it's a
question.
very general term, but I'm just saying if you went out on a dinner one night, what place would you choose?
Okay, so I have a couple, and this is why I'm breaking it down. I hope this is okay. For lunch, I'm gonna go to Mitch's Seafood.
Okay.
Have you guys ever been to Mitch's Seafood?
I have not.
No,
No,
this,
I have
is,
not.
this is above
Point
and
Loma.
beyond.
Okay, it's
So
only an hour show here, all right? So let's.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, and then for dinner, I said this last time, but Wrench and Rodent up in Oceanside.
I haven't-
Incredible
Which
sushi
then I
restaurant.
went after you said that. I went and I did my research,
Yeah.
and it does look very interesting. It sounds very
Yes.
very interesting. It is like sushi, but it's a British chef
Yeah.
with some real. But it all sounded really interesting. And I was actually gonna say, I don't mean to also repeat mine, but I'm still gonna say Din Tai Fung because I was just thinking.
Yep.
I asked myself that same question. Like, if someone was like, you could go anywhere for dinner, like, I would definitely pick that. I think about that food. I watched a YouTube video
It's literally
on
all
Din
she
Tai
talks
Fung
about.
the other day about a man who ordered every dumpling on the menu and had them door dashed to his house, and he ate them all on YouTube, and I watched it. That's how much I like Din Tai Fung.
This is all she talks about. Actually, we had a client came into town, and the first place they went to was Din Tai Fung because of your recommendation.
And guess what? They were not disappointed.
They were not disappointed.
Yeah.
Not
It's
disappointed.
incredible.
Okay, my
It
favorite
should be up
restaurant.
there.
I'm changing it from my last time
All
because
right, okay.
I panicked last time, and I'm going to choose Bueno Forchetta in South Park. They have another one in
Another
Encinitas
one in
too. I think.
Encinitas,
Yeah.
too,
That's, I love Italian food, so that's one of my favorites. I
They have
basically
one
grew
in
up on
Point
spaghetti
Loma, too.
meatballs growing up,
I love that. I love that. And I'm seeing a question here sort of
can pop it
pertains here. from living in Utah, wants to know the best English pub.
Huh.
Best English pub here in San
Shakespeare?
Diego.
Is that an English pub?
Which one?
Shakespeare?
Yeah, that's an English pub. That's a good one.
There you go.
That's
good
a
Irish pub.
solid-
You have a good Irish pub in La Mesa. That's Irish, but not English. But
There's
They
a
might be-
handful of incredible Irish pubs in San Diego. I only know of one English, but
yeah, I feel
Hooley's
like
Irish
there's way
Pub is
more
great.
Irish pubs than there are English pubs.
And
Yep.
the English pub is a little bit of a different vibe too,
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
Than
There's one up in LA. Not this isn't San Diego related, but Ye Old King's Head in Santa Monica is a good spot.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
How do I get that?
Okay, next one. You can just.
Mhm.
And then, okay, favorite donut shop. Dan, you might not enjoy this question as much as we do, but what's your favorite donut shop?
I'm going first. You have to ask the
Obviously.
expert first, I guess.
Ask the donut expert.
So even though I've tried like tons of donuts here, and I was really, really devoted to my Dunkin' Donuts coming from the East Coast, I was really devoted. But
Sure.
I feel like I tried Sidecar Donuts. There's one in Del Mar. There's a couple, all around Southern California here. And I really got to go with Sidecar Donuts because not only are the donuts good, the customer service is amazing. The coffee's really good, like their coffee, their iced coffee, and I mean they make them every hour, so
It's
they're
really
fresh.
it's a really
It's
good
so fresh.
donut place. I'm gonna go with Broad Street Donut Company in Encinitas,
Yes.
which we actually just tried for the first time recently. I just like it because they had so many different toppings. I'm a big topping guy.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to those yogurt places, you pick all
Yes.
the different toppings.
Oh
So
man,
that place was really good. It was just like a cake donut,
yes,
but with all these different flavors
and also
toppings.
fresh,
It was
made
like-
to order.
Yeah.
MTO,
And they
made
have
to order.
vegan
They have
options as well.
vegan and
So-
gluten free if you're looking for something more specific like that. And you're right. I mean, that was an extensive
and
menu.
great customer service.
Oh my gosh,
great
they were
customer
so
service.
friendly,
They were
so
super
nice,
friendly.
so
And they
helpful.
were from like Jersey and
Yeah, it's
all that area,
originally
too.
from New Jersey. There's two
Yeah.
locations in New Jersey and one here in Encinitas. It's kind of a leap from
Okay,
Jersey.
Dan, donut shop. If you even eat donuts, I don't know. You look too skinny to eat donuts.
Try to stay away from the donutsy guys. But
This
Nomad
is how we roll in
Donuts,
North County, all right?
Nomad Donuts in North Park.
Oh, yeah.
Great
yeah.
little spot. The owners couldn't be a nicer guy, and they also, this is kind of a cheat for me because they also do bagels really well, and I'd much rather have a bagel than I would have
Sure.
donuts. They're
Nice.
awesome.
Okay, we'll go a little quicker through these so we can get through the questions and stuff. Favorite coffee shop? Go. Dan, you're up first.
Lofty Coffee. They
Oh,
have a
good
cold
one.
brew with mint that is ridiculous.
Ooh.
Okay.
Have you had the cold brew with mint from House of Black?
Oh, I have had that. That was
I've
really
never
good.
been to
I-
House of
I
Black.
forgot about
Mm.
House of Black.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
and their
Where
mint,
is that?
it's a mojito coffee, and that's
There's
really
just one of them
delicious,
in
too.
all of San
Ah.
Diego, but it's a really good coffee shop.
Okay.
We just got a comment here that we
Spread.
need to talk about real estate or make this a food channel. Listen, the Spaniard, we have
This is
to
about
wait.
moving
We have
to
to.
San Diego.
This is about, and
Yeah.
it's about enjoying San Diego as well. But honestly, we just have to wait until your comments pop up. So we have to have something to talk
Yeah.
about until your questions start popping up
Really,
on our
this is
YouTube
just
live.
filler.
This is
Spaniard. We're
filler.
trying
This
to
is
fill-
filler for
fill
you.
The time here. Okay.
This is
mine
us trying to put
Mostra
some
Coffee.
good news out
We'll
there.
move through this. Move through it. Mostra Coffee and Carmel Mountain Ranch, one of my favorite coffee shops.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll just do the
Okay.
last one. Favorite beach? What's your favorite beach?
Probably Encinitas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Specific one on Encinitas? I was going to say that too, but keep going.
Yeah, Encinitas, Lucadia. I mean, I just like the walkable areas where like the shops and restaurants, and then
Yeah.
you also have the beach, and it's so beautiful up there.
Yeah, I was going to say Moonlight Beach and Encinitas to be specific.
And I was gonna say
Yeah.
Seaside Reef, which is just
Right next to
right. Yeah,
Encinitas.
yeah. Seaside Reef is lovely and
So
super
basically that
family
whole
friendly.
little pocket there.
So
Okay.
there you go. Those are some of our a
Favorite
little
thing.
bit of our input.
Sorry,
so here,
Spaniard.
Spaniard, let's get into the questions. Here we go. I was looking
let
at
him
homes
ruin
in
our fun.
Escondido area in 2019 for around 800,000. Those same homes are close to, if not 1.2, 1.3 million. The math says it's insane to buy now. I have to wait for an adjustment. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I think this market is not for everybody. I think if the market's too crazy for you, you don't want to get in bidding wars, then you should wait. I just don't know how long you're going to have to wait for it to correct and how much it's going to correct.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 1.3 now and the correction only goes down to 1.1, is that really a whole lot better when the interest rate's going to be higher? So we don't enjoy this market either. Trying to get offers accepted for our clients is like, pulling teeth out there. We have to give up our firstborn or whichever child you don't like that much.
It's fine.
And then just try to get offers accepted. So
So yes, this is accurate.
There's
Something for 800,000, yes, could definitely be 1.2, 1.3 million.
Right, and
now.
I
Yes.
just don't see it going back to 800,000. Like, I mean, potentially ever. I mean, especially with inflation and all this other stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, could you see it 1.3 going for maybe 1.15 in a couple years from now? Possibly, but I wouldn't bet on it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that 1.3 could be 1.5 2 years from now. So, if I knew exactly what was going to happen, then we'd be much richer people than we are. But unfortunately, we do not know the answer to that.
Do not have the crystal ball.
What do you
Here's
think,
one
Dan?
thing.
Where do you see the market 2 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, geez, who knows? But one thing that we are seeing for sure, because we've talked about this before, is that more and more people can work from home and they're working remote. And where do they want to live? They want to live somewhere that is sunny and warm and beautiful. So we're having a lot of people. I'm having a lot of people personally from the Bay Area, from New York, from Seattle, from Chicago, from other major cities coming to San Diego. So yes, there are people leaving California, but from what I'm seeing right now, we have a lot of people moving to San Diego and people with money. So, and there's only limited amount of houses. There's not near enough construction going on. So I don't see it going down anytime soon. I wish I did.
I do think people are leaving like the Bay Area. I think people are Los Angeles probably a little bit, but leaving San Diego, there are some people leaving, but I feel like there's more coming than are going. That's just maybe because we just work with a lot of buyers, but there's just no shortage of people coming, and the inventory is gonna be low for a while. So I mean, maybe a year and a half from now, we'll be in a little bit better place, and this market will turn to more of a buyer's market. But to see that same house being 800,000, I don't really see that happening. Yeah, in my opinion. But
if I were buying a home, I would bet on the market continuing to rise, and I would get in as soon as I can. If I were a buyer right now.
I think it depends. If you're gonna stay in your house for a long period of time, then I would buy now. If I was going to be there for 3 to 4 years, then I probably would wait, just because if you're like planning on trying to move upgrade to another house, eventually we will top out a little bit on price appreciation, I think. But every time I think that's going to happen, it just keeps going. So, I don't know. We'll see. Not a perfect answer, but this is what we got.
Well, that's what you got. This is probably a question more for Bern, because he has the finger on the pulse here. This is Anicio R. If you have any updates about Merge 56, can you share dates and completion?
The most recent update I have is they're going to start building up, because right now it's just a big pile of dirt. They're just moving from one side of the hill to the other, it seems like. But they are supposed to start building actual buildings this summer. And the priority list for the Lennar homes, which is Arlo and Vine, they do have websites for these now. So if you're looking at those, just Google Lennar, Arlo, Lennar, Vine. And you'll see that they do have websites on there. Literally, they have no information. For some reason, they just keep information from the public, these builders. No floor plans, no exact pricing. I'm guessing the townhomes will start around the $800,000 mark, because the Pacific Highland Ranch Lumens are starting around $800,000. And Torrey Highlands should be right around that number for the most part. And the single family homes, I'm guessing, are going to start around 1.2 to 1.3 is my guess, but it kind of depends on the lot size, the yards, and all that sort of thing.
So still not a huge timeline. They haven't.
No, I mean they said they were going to start selling them this summer. I still find that hard to believe. I think it's going to be more like fall, but that's kind of where they're at. I do think it's going to be an awesome community, great location. I think it's a better location than Three Roots. I know everyone's talking about Three Roots, but there's also going to be way less homes there.
Yeah.
It also depends what your situation. Are you raising your kids here, or do you want something more outside of closer to UTC area or closer to downtown? Then Three Roots would probably be better.
Yes.
So that's my update. That's all I got so far.
That's more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's more. And Merge 56 is a project right here off of the 56 in the Carmel Valley area, which is going to be a mixed use.
It's right in the middle of the 56 freeway, right off Camino del Sur, just south of the 56 freeway.
Yes.
In case you don't know where that is.
In case you don't know where that is. Okay. We're going to go on to the next question here from MC, moving to San Diego in 2 weeks. Keen to hear your thoughts on pros and cons of Del Mar and Carmel Valley.
Okay. I mean, the cons, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expensive and inventory's low, and it's...
I mean, that's probably really the only con, is it's pricey, because Del Mar, you're on the beach or very close to the beach. Carmel Valley, you're just east of Del Mar. Schools are great.
Pros, that's a pro, not a con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Schools are great, but that also puts there's a lot of demand specifically for those areas. A lot of parents move to Carmel Valley specifically we always mention it, but there's one of it is the number one ranked high school in all of California. So you got some parents who want their kids to go there no matter what, and people are really competitive when it comes to getting in those.
It's
homes.
Also very central. This is another pro.
Yes,
that's true.
Not a whole lot of cons in my opinion. So you can get downtown in like 20-25 minutes, and then you can go to Carlsbad in 20-25 minutes, or go inland. So it's very, very central to all that San Diego has to offer. You're 5 minutes to the beach, or if you're Del Mar, you could be on the beach. So the prices for a house there probably start around 1.5 now. Yeah. Like a year ago, they were probably starting around 1.1. So it's like the same way with this Mr. Spaniard over here said went up $400,000 in 2 years. That's very, very, very true. Yeah. So,
Del Mar is small. That might be a con or a pro for you, depending on how you look at it. But Del Mar is a smaller area.
It's only 4 square miles.
There you go. So if you're looking specifically to look in Del Mar, you don't have a ton of options because it is just a small area.
It's a sleepier town, so it kind of after like 9 o'clock, it kind of dies down there,
right. So even though it's got some fun little restaurants and bars and stuff, it's not going to be the same vibe as you would get in North Park or South Park or downtown, where it's a little more awake past 10 o'clock maybe. I would say Del Mar pretty much quiets down at that time of day.
Del Mar, very limited walkability.
Yeah, because you've only got
it's got one main little strip
couple of those streets to choose from.
Yeah, but Carmel Valley's got some good shopping there. They got the One Paseo, which is one of my favorite shopping centers over here. But not like I said, not a ton of cons. So.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Hopefully that helps. Who was that?
MC.
Is an ADU good for resale? Is it worth the investment? Dan, what are your thoughts?
It's a hard thing to analyze in this market right now. I feel like, and every house is going to be different. There are certain areas where the single family home price is going up so much that if you think about adding on a $150,000 or $200,000 ADU build, or even more than that, it's hard to think that house could be valued at over $1 million in certain specific areas. I don't know. It really depends. I would say it's situational.
I think they actually do add a lot of value. I think more and more people want them, especially after this pandemic. People use them as offices, or a lot of people have like family living with them, or parents, grandparents, whoever it is. So I think they do add a decent amount of value. And a couple of people recently have bought houses that have ADUs.
Yep.
And they definitely help with appraisal too, especially with one that doesn't have an ADU versus one does. You can add a good $200,000 to that appraisal too. So in this market, it helps to add to appraisals, so you don't have to make up the difference in purchase price versus the appraisal. So I think they're worth it. So although right now they cost a ton to make because lumber is so expensive.
Right.
So if you can wait to build the ADU another year or 6 months at least, when lumber prices come down, it'll be much more worth it. Right now, I would actually probably hold off on doing any kind of major additions to houses or ADUs. That's just my thoughts. So,
yeah.
Okay. That was from Sean Zhao.
Yes. Okay. This is another, throwing it up there from the Spaniard. What is the demographics of the buyers paying now? 1.4, 1.5, 1.5 million. Are they retired, selling in one place and moving to another?
At least my experience is people moving from different cities, mainly the Bay Area.
Yep.
There's a few.
Midwest, some.
Midwest, we've had East Coast too.
Yep.
I would say probably 50% are probably from California, and the rest of the 50% is spread out throughout the country, like Midwest or East Coast.
Yeah.
We have one empty nester guy moving here from Florida, the guy we talked to today.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of it. We had a lot of people.
A couple retired, but not. I think it's a lot of. Like Dan said, people who are able to work from home.
Yeah, remotely.
Yep.
So it's a lot of tech people, or basically anybody that can work from home, which is a lot of people that work in tech, basically.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So yes, and they're paying 1.4 or 1.5.
Exactly.
It's not a lot of first-time home buyers.
Right.
No, not a lot of first-time home buyers relocating from a different city to buy their first home in San Diego. It's not. an easy thing to do.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, from Kathy Riley. She wants to know, can we hear the surf when you're living in the homes on the beach?
Yeah,
For sure.
you can.
Definitely you can.
We showed a condo up in Oceanside like a couple weeks ago, and the water was literally splashing on the windows of it. And I was doing a virtual tour for my client, and he's like, "Can you hear it?" I'm like, "Yeah, and I can see it." So it's literally splashing on the window. So yeah, if you're on the beach, you can definitely hear the waves, which is I like. The
Right.
sound,
So I don't know if Kathy's asking because she does not want that kind of sound, or because that sounds really nice.
It also depends on what beach, because sometimes the houses aren't right on top of the water.
Right.
So like Oceanside, you were right on top of it, but like Del Mar, you could be a little tucked back a little farther.
Mhm.
Right.
Or like Cardiff or Encinitas, those ones you could be a little farther back.
Yes, that's
it kind of
true.
depends on the house, but
Or Bird Rock up on the hill.
Or if you're like perched up higher.
Wyndham Sea, some of those homes are like right there. Yeah, that's true.
But there's something just so magical about that like faint noise of the ocean. I mean, it's real special.
It's like a sound machine, but it's like real life. So
yeah.
You're right. You're right. No, I thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, we have Ross here.
W. What's up, Ross?
Maybe prices will drop a bit when California is on fire later this summer. I see he's put a little winky face on there, so I don't think he's really hoping for fires later this summer.
Yeah, it's possible, sure.
But it
or
is
an
possible.
earthquake, what could be anything, but sure, it could dip if there is a natural disaster. I agree with that. So.
Yeah. But fingers crossed that we're not having all the fire. I always hope for no fires. Some years are worse than others, though, obviously. This is from MC. What has been the biggest surprise for you about living in San Diego? Yeah, Dan, do you want to go first on that? Do you have any thoughts on?
Because you're not from San Diego, Dan, correct?
Well, I'm from Orange County, so it's really not too far away. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. You guys have any thoughts?
I can go first.
I have one, but you go.
Well, I mean, I don't know where everyone's moving from, but I know where I moved from. There's the biggest surprise definitely is just I want to say like the lack of greenery. Not lack of greenery. It's just a different topography here, totally different. And I had never lived I had just always lived somewhere where there's a bunch of deciduous leafy trees and it's really green in the summer and it's super humid. And it really is. And I tell people, I'm like, it is a coastal desert. You
mention that all the time.
I say it all the time because people are still like, oh my God, it's cold at night. I'm like, yeah, for real. It is. The sun drops and there is just very low humidity. So it's not warm all day, all night. And it just, so the weather and the landscape was a big surprise about living in San Diego, but also how lovely the people are. So I'm sure someone will disagree with me on that, but I think generally, having come from an area where sometimes people can be a little grumpy, which I'm sure you could be a little grumpy. You get a really rainy, wet, nasty winter. It puts anybody off, and out here, man, you got such a, lovely atmosphere all the time. And I just feel like people are a little bit friendlier.
I mean, the sunshine can cheer you up a little bit.
It can, so.
I have two things. Okay. One, I think this kind of goes hand in hand with you, how hilly San Diego is. For some reason, I always pictured just beaches everywhere and it just being flat.
Yeah.
But there are hills and canyons and
you're right.
galore out here, which for some reason, I never pictured that. And the other thing that I like about it, I did not really expect, is how easy it is to park at the beaches.
Oh my God.
Because, I lived in LA East Coast and LA. It's like a pain in the butt to try to park, and you have to walk like a mile to get to the beach.
All your stuff. Oh
but here, you're parking like 10 feet from the beach. I know this is probably a stupid one, but I'm going to go with it, and I really enjoy it.
That is such a treat. I'm like, every time when I pull
especially
in,
when you have little kids.
Feet, I'm like, oh.
No, very valid.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's my two.
Yeah. So nothing from. Did you come back to your thoughts there, Dan?
Okay, I'll tell you the difference between in my head, the difference between Orange County and San Diego, because they're only an hour drive apart. Yep. Is that people are just laid back here. Like even in the in the more expensive areas, like people are just more laid back.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about San Diego.
Yeah. More than Orange County, you would say? They're more laid back.
Oh, yeah.
Here? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's good.
All right.
Okay, do we take another comment? Let's see. The Spaniard.
I don't know. Spaniard was a little sassy to us earlier. I'm not sure if I.
The quality of homes that I was finding in 2019 seems slim to none from my investment and time looking for a home. It seems like there is a lot of homes now being thrown in for sale just for.
Was there finished?
Just
to be thrown out there.
Just to be thrown out there.
I mean, I do feel like inventory. Dan, do you feel like inventory is picking up here in San Diego, or is it just the time of year and there's always more homes this time of year?
There's always more homes this time of year. There's definitely fewer buyers than there were a couple weeks ago. And anecdotally, I've had more requests for people wanting to sell their home, but I haven't really seen too much of an increase. Yeah. At least the areas that I'm searching for my clients.
I've noticed more homes on the market the last month compared to like January, February, March. But they're still flying off the shelf. So, I mean, they hit the market Wednesday, Thursday. Showings Friday, Saturday, Sunday, review offers Monday, Tuesday. It's gone by Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So yes, there seems to be more home. Eventually, you think this would like catch up with the buyer demand, but it hasn't yet. Yeah. So I was hoping Three Roots would kind of get some of those buyers off the market, but there's not enough homes and they're not making them quick enough. So there are more homes for sale, but they're selling just as quick as they were before. So
yes.
Have you had any experiences with Three Roots yet, Bern?
Not. I've had some people got on the priority list, but then some people are changing their mind that they don't want.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have some clients that so at least for Shea, they picked supposedly the top 50 people or the first 50 people that registered and got on the priority list. So they had a webinar last week. They have a showing next week, so they're going to go and check it out in person. But in both scenarios, they're not allowing anyone to accompany them. So I can't even get on there to go check it out.
Why won't they let anybody accompany?
They're only going to allow 2 people to come visit the property.
Are they still using the COVID excuse here, or what's the?
Whatever excuse they want. That's just I'm going to find out more information. But I mean, whether they allow broker compensation or not, I just wanted to get over there with my clients and check it out. But
I want to walk
the
campus over there and just check the whole thing out. So maybe I'll fly my drone over there so we get some more.
There you go. Drone wars.
Don't tell anyone I said
that. No, we won't. We have Kathy Riley, who followed up her question about the beach, saying, thanks, I agree. I love the sound. However, some pictures I've seen online, for example, Mission Beach, the house looks so far away.
Mission Beach, there is a gap there.
Sure.
But if you're North County ones, I feel like are closer.
Yeah. But she's right. Mission Beach, there is...
Solana Beach, you're perched up on the hill.
Yeah, some of them...
Del Mar, you're right on there for the most part.
Yes.
Can we also mention on Mission Beach that is the one beach in San Diego that you can't park at?
That's
left finding a parking spot over there.
My wife just tried to go down there for the birthday party.
Right.
They drove around for an hour trying to find a parking spot and could not find parking. So
horrendous.
My parking rule does not count Mission Beach because the parking's community.
So what do they expect, just following up on that, what do they expect tourists or visitors to do with that parking situation?
I mean, the thing I know about that area is I would say 90% of the properties are Airbnb or short-term rentals.
Okay.
So people are staying.
You're staying there and then just walking.
You're staying there, yeah. And then it's just a very hot touristy destination in the summer.
Would you say that's the most touristy spot in San Diego, Mission Beach?
I would probably say so. Yeah.
Probably, right?
Yeah. Because you have like the bay on one side and you have the beach on the other, and then you only have like 4 rows of homes in the middle.
That's true.
So there's a lot of white sandy beaches. So you could get a lot of like access to white sandy beaches. Mm-hmm. But yeah, actually trying to drive over there.
Right.
Sucks.
Yeah.
You need an electric scooter. That's what
true.
You need.
Good thing I got plenty of those.
Yeah. Too many. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. That was very nice. Okay. From Vishal Patel asking
Hi, Vishal.
How's the traffic now that things are recovering from the pandemic?
I just spoke to him today. How's traffic? Traffic is still not bad lately.
It's not bad, but I do see
it has
a little
picked
uptick.
up though.
I do see an uptick.
I've actually seen like slowdowns, not necessarily traffic per se.
Right.
But it's definitely starting to pick up. I think people are starting to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Just
slowly, getting out
and,
a little
or just
bit
doing
more.
things and going to Padre games. Now I went to my first Padre game a couple.
And how was the traffic?
Ago. It was not bad at all, actually, when we went down there. What day did we go? It was a third. No, it was a Monday. It was a Monday.
Okay.
Went, so.
All right. But yes, I do see a little bit of an upswing. Still not at like max capacity with the traffic, but I would say definitely not as empty on the freeways as it was right in peak pandemic, I had to drive up to LA, and I made it to LA in an hour and a half. I mean, like deep into LA, not
because
just
you drive crazy.
That is not. No one's talking about that right now.
It's
actually,
Check the radar gun on this one. All right.
I think I drove mostly the speed limit the whole time.
Suspect.
Yeah. Well, so yes, I would say I see a little bit of a uptick there.
Okay.
Two of the worst traffic days I've seen were this week.
This week,
for me
really?
personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. I mean, summer's right around the corner too, so
Yes.
Yeah.
more visitors probably coming in.
Yeah,
as well.
and it does kind of seem to be going though with the classic the 9 a.m. to
9 a.m. rush of the
the rush
4 or
hour
5
sort of
p.m.
seems
rush.
to be
I came back from La Jolla yesterday at 4:30, and it wasn't bad at all. So it wasn't too bad.
All right, well, hey, then
I'm
knows?
just saying.
Who knows? Yeah. Okay, the Spaniard says this is the last question. What percentage? I think he means do you think are pocket listings not showing up on California MLS? Where can you see the sold homes?
I would say less than 5%. What do you think? Yeah. I mean,
the Department of Real Estate has been cracking down on that, and they've been putting new regulations in place to minimize pocket listings. So I would say it's a lot less than you think. I'm sure there are some shady things going on with homes on the market currently, but I would say that pocket listings are probably not the biggest.
Yeah, I know culprit. They do occur, but I don't think there's a lot, because if they put it on the market, in this market, to do a pocket listing, I don't think is the most intelligent thing to do in the world, because you get way more than you think on the market. So you have people compete over it. So if you're just going to sell it to one person off the market, in my opinion, you're not going to get as much money that way. So, I mean, there's one house in our neighborhood that I can't even believe this. I was just shocked by this. The house was listed at 1.7, like the best house in the whole neighborhood. It's on the canyon, views and pool and everything. And I was like, oh, that's kind of high, but I could see them getting it because it's the best house in the neighborhood. And I just looked today and saw what it closed for, $2.3 million. I'm like, are you?
Woo!
That was $600,000 over asking price, and I thought 1.7 was like kind of on the higher end. So
if you had that money, though, if you had that kind of money to buy,
I don't think I would have spent.
You wouldn't have spent that on that.
If I just had it lying around.
That house.
I do.
You talk about that house all the time. And if you knew it was in a great neighborhood with great people and great schools, and you were like, "This is the best house in the neighborhood,"
still was crazy. And Dan, other question before we get into that: how much, like, when you put offers in, how much are houses going over asking? Because I get this question all the time, so I'm sure you do as well.
So a lot of my clients are right around the $1 million mark is what they're looking,
which is
plus or minus.
I mean, I know that's a lot of money, but it's a tough price range to be in sometimes.
Right now it is for sure, because that's where I don't want to say that's a starting point for single family homes, but that's where a lot of people are looking in for single family homes. And it's tough. I would say I've written a lot of offers, 200,000 over asking, and not gotten them accepted in the last couple months.
I would also agree with that, but I've also had luck getting offers accepted under asking or at asking. I have 2 in escrow right now that we got at asking, which is 1,275. And then one was listed at 1,175, and we got it at 1,150. So $25,000 under asking. So sometimes if you just like stay patient and look for the ones that come back on the market, or ones that maybe they priced a little bit too high in the beginning, you can actually use it to your advantage, because they really like if a house sits for more than 10 days. You can see on some of these websites you can actually filter that out. It's like look for properties that have been on the market more than 10 days, more than 14 days. And then target those properties, or look for ones that came back on the market, because you can actually get some value on those. I know it sounds weird because everyone's looking at the new properties, but no one's really looking at the older properties, which I think is a good opportunity for some people, especially if you've had a really hard time getting offers accepted.
Yeah, I think back on market is one of the best opportunities. San Diego as a whole, on the MLS, I think the numbers are homes are going for 4.5% on average over asking. So what that means is the homes that if you visit 5 or 10 homes in a day and 1 or 2 of them you really, really like, probably a lot of other people really like those too, is the sad truth. So those are the ones that are really getting bid up. And those are the ones that more or less, most of the time, my clients are interested in and putting offers on. So if they were interested in buying the other properties, maybe putting in a little bit more work,
that's what I'm saying. Look for ones that need work, not quite move-in ready, but it's like cosmetic work. But there's a reason why people like the move-in ready ones, but everybody else is going to like them. So if you can do a little bit of work. I mean, we have great countertop guys, flooring guys at very affordable prices.
Bern knows all the guys.
I know. I have every guy that you need. So just try to look past the beautiful ones and look for the ones, the diamonds
100%.
in the rough sort of thing.
Yeah.
No, that's the
That's my
best
2
advice
cents.
right now.
How do I get back?
Hmm.
What are you trying to do?
Just
Here.
scroll up a little bit.
Boop.
Thank you. Sorry.
Bern, that house on your block that sold for that much, was it like you walk in just was beautifully done and everything too?
It was nice inside. It was nice. They updated the kitchen. The flooring was nice, but it wasn't like, wasn't made of solid gold or anything.
Wasn't like the newest. You
Yeah,
know,
the
wasn't
lot
it
was like the
just
best lot in
redone.
the neighborhood.
It's the
and
lot. It's
a
the
corner lot.
It has a casita. It has a
does, yeah.
detached casita.
Cool.
It has
Bathroom,
yeah,
yeah.
it's on a corner, so it's got side yard and beautiful pool, beautiful view. And just a desirable neighborhood, where not a lot of stuff goes on the market like ever.
Yeah.
So,
But still, it was crazy.
yes, it was crazy. Yes, it was. Okay, Chris N says, we are planning to start a family, currently looking into homes in a
Nice.
good school district. What do you think are the median cost of homes in those areas?
Okay.
San Diego County has a lot of really great school districts.
We're not really supposed to comment too much on the actual ratings of schools, but North County generally has well-regarded schools. The starting point for like a single-family house in, one of those in like the Poway Unified School District, for example, would probably start around for like a 3-bedroom house, 900,000, maybe high 8s if you're lucky, but probably want to be around 900 plus. And then, it can go, the sky's the limit from there, but 900 to 1.1 would probably be a good starting point for a 3 and a 4-bedroom house.
And there's lots of good schools. There's lots of good schools all around San Diego County.
Yeah, but and then there's like Carlsbad's got higher rated schools. San Marcos, San Marcos will be a little bit lower. They might start. You can probably get something in the 800s probably there. Not too much. None of the quote unquote good school areas are too much under 800. Would you say that's true, Dan?
Yeah, and I would say, at least from the perspective of my clients that are looking for homes in good school districts, they generally are looking in North County, like you guys said.
Right.
And yeah, I would say, between 900 and 1.1, you might be able to get just under that. But I also think that you just need to expect to have some flexibility for going over on asking price too. So you might find some properties listed at 850, but might actually be going for 950.
Yeah, and some of these realtors will list it at 850. Like, look, I'm doing such a great job marketing this property, but they purposely list it $150,000 under what it's worth. I'm like, what was the point of that? You could have listed $100,000 higher and still had multiple offers, but this is the life.
I had an agent admit that to me the other day as I'm going to view the property with my buyers, saying that she intentionally underpriced it because that's what you have to do. I'm like, you are absolutely crazy. This market is taking care of that. You don't have to worry about that.
You think it's worth, and you'll still get multiple offers and go over asking pricing. So, like, this one was listed at $1 million. I'm like, I walk into it, I'm like, this is 1.2. Like, what are they doing? And I call the agent just to see. He's like, oh yeah, 17 offers. I'm like, good for you, buddy. Good for you.
I think
just pissed off 16 other people, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
So.
I should also say it doesn't have to. Obviously, there's lots of different options outside of just single family homes.
Beautiful townhomes.
Yes.
Townhomes, condos, apartments. If you're just starting a family, then you maybe don't need a big 4,000 square foot home. You can find
a 3-bedroom condo townhome would probably start around 600-ish.
Yeah,
give or take.
You've got some options, and then you've got time to move into that bigger home a couple years from now, and you're still going to start out in those.
Build the equity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Doesn't have to be your forever home in the first home you buy.
Right, right. So you there is some flexibility.
Yeah, the first place I bought was a $405,000 2-bedroom condo. So.
Here in San Diego?
No, this was in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have, how is the Chula Vista area, especially Eastlake, considering schools, etc.?
Well, Dan knows this area a little bit better than we do, so I don't know if you want to chime in on that thing.
Yeah, for sure. And just like Bern said, we're very limited on what we can say about schools. I have had clients looking down in Chula Vista because they did like the school districts down there, but I don't know enough really to comment about it because we're not supposed to really comment about it anyway. So, most of my clients that go down to Chula Vista, they look for new construction or newer construction in like Otay Ranch. And I've also had a lot of clients that really enjoy the Bonita area as well. So those are the 2 areas that I would recommend. And if you're looking for school districts, like there's so many different sites out there that rate school districts. Just take a look at a couple of them and see what they say. Is that like, do you guys have a specific site that you recommend that you go off of for schools?
We usually go off of like Great
Great
Schools
Schools.
or
Okay.
niche.com.
Yeah.
Niche
So
is one I've
the
used.
great schools listings are always like, a lot of people want to look at Zillow to see these homes. And if you scroll down on your Zillow listing, you're going to get the scores of the schools from great listings. Great schools. Great listings. Sure. They're great too. So that's that's one that a lot of people have seen, are very familiar with. So you can quickly rattle off a number. They do it between 1 and 10 are the scores. And they usually tell you for the home you're looking at on Zillow, you will get your elementary school, your middle school, and your high school score. So
I'm looking at greatschools.org right now, and like the first three in Chula Vista are 10, 9, and 9. So Parkview Elementary, Arroyo Vista Charter School. So there are, according to Great Schools, there are higher rated schools down there.
Mhm.
yes, in Chula Vista as well. Yeah.
Sorry, we have to be diplomatic about that.
Yes.
We get in trouble for this though.
Okay. Will the new short-term rental rule impact the housing market here in San Diego next year?
I don't think it will. Do you think it'll cause more places to hit the market? I don't think enough to make a difference. But
What rule? Something that passed
Um,
recently?
Limiting the amount of.
I know
short-term-
they just passed the rules. I'm not sure which rule she's talking about, but if it's the one that basically the max you're allowed to say, like an HOA can only say the max you could do, or the minimum you can do, is 30-day rentals. So if the HOA says it's 90-day rentals, the state's saying you're allowed to do 30-day rentals. So now all the HOAs have to at least change the 30-day rentals, and then not
Gotcha.
90. So I'm not sure if that's the rule she's talking about, but that's the one I know about. So
Not the one just impacting how many short-term rentals like in an area you could have.
oh, that's a rule. I'm not sure if has that passed yet. I don't know that for a
I don't
fact.
know
so.
either. I just feel like I've heard some
I'd have to look
scuttlebutt
it up.
about
Yeah.
them.
I know they
So
keep
I-
going
I-
back and forth on this all the time, so I don't know what the
Yeah.
final rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's changed on like that. That can change at any point in time, and it's like it can be city specific a lot of times.
Mhm.
But as far as like Airbnb and short term rentals, I haven't seen anything that's passed recently that would affect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you know the specific rule you're talking about, Sean, you can type it in the
then
comments.
tell us.
Yep.
Yeah.
If we don't know, we'd like to.
Yes. What is a decent income to become new homeowners in San Diego? 200,000, 300,000, 500,000.
I mean, I think you could buy a place with 100,000, but I mean, it might not be a single family home in the best neighborhood in San Diego. But like if you're a family of 4,
Mm-hmm.
want to be in a decent neighborhood, you probably want to be 150, 175. Would you say, Dan? What would you say is a reasonable amount?
Yeah. Geez, there's so many factors involved with that. Do you have some money
I would
saved?
say that
I
too.
know,
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
many factors.
Do you have
right?
kids or you live by yourself? It's like a million different things I
Right.
could talk
Do you have
about.
a ton of debt? Do you
Yeah.
have all these expenses? Do you? Yeah, that's.
But I mean, at 200,000, I think you could definitely live in San Diego with.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think like you can find a pretty decent condo in a walkable area for under 600,000. Between 5 and 600,000. You can find places for cheaper than that.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to be making $1 million a year. You could be making combined just over 100,000 and probably be able to make that work as long as you have the down payment ready. So I always recommend just go online and just go into some basic mortgage calculators, plug in some numbers, see what you're looking at,
Mhm.
see what pops out, and then search for homes at that price. Like, yeah, there's so many factors. Just take a look online, and if it's looking somewhat promising, then reach out to us and we can help you, or reach out to a lender and have them really run your numbers and see what that would look like, what your mortgage payment would
Yeah,
look like.
lender's really gonna be the one that tells you what you can afford. I mean,
Yeah.
we can give you ballparks, but lender's the guy to talk to. So.
Yeah. Follow this up with there's rarely any property that stays longer than 10 days.
Agreed.
Mhm.
It's true.
There are, I mean, if you look hard enough, you can find them. So.
Oh, here's a nice
Oh,
comment.
Well, this is Carrie White, real estate agent up in Santa Monica, who's on our podcast.
What's up, Carrie?
Yeah, you humans are all amazing. Lucky buyers and sellers who get to work with you all, providing tons of value and honesty. Going live during happy hour. Too kind.
Cheers.
I hope you're
Cheers
cheersing
to
us
that,
too,
Hopefully,
Carrie.
she's probably not still watching, but if you want, go for it.
She's all right.
No, she's still the best. So thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Carrie.
she's great. So if you're ever looking to buy a place in Santa Monica or Los Angeles, Carrie White's the one to talk to.
Nice. So Okay. Oh, she said another one.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Brentwood condo, Bern. Now worth 1.1.
1.1
No, I
million.
looked it up. It just
Oh.
sold like 6 months ago. Again, for like 800,000 or 900,000.
That was your first
my
place?
first condo. Yeah, I should have kept it.
Wow. Oh, held on to that one.
I know.
Huh? Yeah, probably wouldn't be too bad. Oh, okay.
The school chart is
easy. Expensive homes equals great schools.
Yeah.
The reverse is the same.
Yeah, but I mean, I also, in the schools that don't have as high rated schools, you could probably save money by going to a private school than buying, comparative. Like if you find a neighborhood that doesn't, at least according to these websites, not as high rated, you could probably send your kids to private school for cheaper than it would be to make up the difference for an expensive neighborhood. But,
I mean, I think a lot of schools are great.
And I feel like people put too much weight on the number that this company puts in front of the school sometimes.
It's true, yeah.
I mean, there's great teachers at all these schools sometimes, and sometimes maybe the kids don't have as much, help around, but they're still very good teachers, very good schools.
Right.
But maybe their test scores aren't as high.
Right.
Because of other reasons too. It's not just because of the school. So,
right. But a lot of like the great schools, they do weigh a lot of those test scores in the balance there.
That's how they do a lot of the ratings. So.
Yeah, definitely. So here's another one, sort of same. My pregnant wife and I are curious about the Imperial Beach area as far as a 3-bedroom home. Wait, can I use one of these?
Applause.
Congrats! Yay!
I don't know if you can hear that, Dan. We did an applause.
We did an applause. Yeah. Which was really fancy for.
Congrats!
I love
pregnancy.
it.
Yes.
Imperial Beach. Honestly, that's a little bit out of our territory. Dan, do you know are you much familiar with Imperial Beach?
As far as a 3-bedroom home.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be the most affordable beach area in San Diego. I mean, I don't think there's any question about that. And there's some areas that are really, really pretty and really nice. I don't know much about like the schools down there, but it's cool because like from Imperial Beach, you can also drive up to Coronado, kind of like the back way, without having to go over the Coronado Bridge. And yeah, I think it's a lovely area. You're very close to Mexico. Like you can literally see the border of Mexico and in some parts in Imperial Beach. And then you also have, what's that?
Really good Mexican food down there.
All over San Diego. There's
definitely good Mexican food down there. And then you also have like I forget what it's called. You have like the reservoir, whatever that is, and it can kind of smell sometimes. Is the one thing I do like to mention to people. And that's like the biggest negative that I think for that area.
That's a good.
Yeah, I don't get down there as
thing
much.
That's like a little insider's tip there.
Cheers.
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 Okay. When it comes to price cuts, is there a reason why homeowners reduce their asking price by something small? Oh, like $50.
Yeah, well, the reason they do that is basically a lot of times people put alerts on there. So if there's ever a price cut, even if it's just $50, they get another alert in their email or their cell phone pops up. It's like price drop, whatever it is. So that's why they do the $50 thing because, I mean, $50 when the house is $1 million.
Right.
It's not,
but it still sends.
It's not
an
really
alert.
A price cut, but it just kind of refreshes
right?
your memory. Like, oh, just in case you forgot about us, we're still here.
Yes.
For $50 less.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen someone do that for $50?
I don't think you. I think it has to be at least $100. I think, or $1,000. I forget what it is. But that's not really going to entice me too much for a $50 price.
No, but I do kind of understand that somebody might just then it gets you back in the
but it's like, oh, maybe I did forget about that one.
I did.
So
sure.
I mean, it's not super effective, but it could help.
You know, the weird thing that I've seen recently, I wonder if you guys have seen it too, is like a house will be on the market for 10 or 20 days. And then instead of decreasing the price, they'll actually add like $50,000 onto the price. Well, have you seen that recently?
They're doing that more recently because they get so many multiple offers that they're like, I mean, I kind of actually prefer it that way because then you're like, okay, this is where the prices are, this is where the offers are already going up to. So you can.
So if that's not in.
Yeah, if it's not your price range, you can either walk away or bid accordingly. So that's actually a new thing that never used to happen, but now they're doing it a lot more lately. So I get why they do it.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's the last question for you. If you guys have any more questions before we go, we're happy to answer for them. Otherwise, we thank everyone for tuning in, and we'll try to do this. We're trying to do this once a month on our channel. It will also be on Dan's channel every other week too. So if you have not subscribed to Dan's channel, check out Best Life San Diego, or just search Dan Parker on YouTube. Dan Parker San Diego.
Yep.
The best place to do it. You'll be able to find him. He's got a lot of great info on there. And if you guys are ever looking to move to San Diego, we'd love to help you find your next home. And if you just have questions about here, and if you don't want to use us because you don't like us, that's fine too. But we know where all the best donut places are, so you should probably.
We do. I was gonna say, is that a
reach
deciding
out.
factor for some people? They're like, we chose the wrong coffee place. I didn't even get to say my coffee place. You guys skipped me because
we did?
I'm
Okay, we gotta hear it.
Vern's a
We
big
gotta hear
coffee
it.
drinker,
I love coffee.
and
So.
I am.
Okay, what's your favorite coffee place?
I wanted to say Better Buzz.
better be good.
Oh, Better Buzz. That's a good one.
Oh,
Better
yeah.
Buzz.
Mhm.
I was talking forever to Bern today. I'm like, that
Oh, yeah.
powder they, and he's like, oh yeah, they do that at Coffee Bean.
Coffee
too.
Bean
I'm like,
also
no,
has
it's
vanilla
different
powder,
though.
but whatever.
It's better somehow. That's the name of the famous drink that they have at Better Buzz. Is called just like the best drink ever or
Well, it's
something.
like that's self-proclaimed. Best. It's like I'm like we're the best realtor in the world.
I'm just a dummy, and I fell for that marketing, and I was like, this is the best drink ever.
Wait, Spaniard's coming back for another question. Okay.
Oh no. Okay, last one. Sorry, Spaniard wants to know. And also about. Okay. Well, first he just.
Oh, that's a good question.
He or she, I'm not sure. Spaniard. What is the best search engine besides Zillow?
I mean,
because I was mentioning Zillow.
Search engines, all the search engines pull from the MLS. So I wouldn't say one's better than the other. It's just basically which one do you like searching on, basically, and just use that one. They're all going to have the same exact information on there, so there won't be anything different really on each one. Because even the coming soons are now been streamlined. So it's coming soon on the MLS. It shows up coming soon on Zillow, Redfin, Trulia.
Do you think any one of those,
Hotpads.
Dan, YouTube is more user friendly, or is the most user friendly out of those?
No, I agree. I think it's mostly just the interface. Oh, can you guys hear me? You froze for a second.
I got you. Yeah.
I would say the interface for the user experience is a little bit different, but every once in a while you can see on Redfin, I'll notice a property will be listed on there that was actually off the market for a while, and I don't know if they're doing that intentionally or if there's syndication issues. So I would just recommend
Zillow do that before.
Yeah. So from time to time, it's always good to when you're actually looking for a home, just get a second opinion just to make sure that's really on there.
Yeah.
For someone like Bern and myself, Courtney, we can look on the back end and just make sure that that property is active. And then the other thing I always just let people know, like how these sites work, the way they make money. If you don't know, there's always a button to click that makes it look like you're reaching out to the listing agent for that property. You're not reaching out to the listing agent for that property. You're reaching out to some random agent that just paid $200 for your information.
Right.
And you better believe they're going to call, text, and email you. So
that's true.
if you ever,
good thing to point out. Yes.
Yeah.
One thing we will not do is bug you. That's the one thing.
Yeah, we don't have time to do it, so it's fine.
That's great.
I saw this one come in, and I just wanted to throw it up. I know we said we were going to wrap it up, and we are, but this is, what are your favorite happy hour venues in San Diego?
Ooh. Well,
That's a good one.
This is my favorite because it's the closest one to my house.
Naughty Barrel.
How'd you know?
I knew it. Naughty Barrel. Vern is all.
Naughty Barrel in Rancho Penasquitas is my preferred venue for happy hour in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
If I went somewhere else.
And why do you like that? Why do you like Naughty Barrel's happy
because
hour?
I like the owner. I like their really good wait staff there. And
Proximity,
it's got huge proximity.
very close.
Big outdoor patio.
Yep.
You basically walk there.
They have a great beer selection as well. So that's the reasons why.
You're right.
Dan, you have one? Courtney?
Bert, what was the restaurant I went to the other night that I was asking if you had been there? I don't know if they have happy hour, but that restaurant's fantastic.
I like Gravity Heights. I was going to talk about Gravity
good.
Heights.
Yeah.
Yes, that is so good. And what a nice location.
They have a great outdoor spot there,
They
too.
do. And the food is good, too. I'm impressed by the food. I think the food is good.
And if for any of you guys moving to or buying in 3 Routes, Gravity Heights is right down the street from
and
that.
it's a fun spot
not
to go
walkable,
to.
but very close to it.
It's a fun spot to go to.
Oh, and you know what? They do have happy hour because we were there on Saturday. They had happy hour.
Oh, I
about
love
them
that.
apples?
I love when they
Really,
do. Yeah, but that's a Saturday happy hour.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of places
Yeah.
it's Monday through Friday. I like
That's a
to
good
hear
point.
that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think they do happy hour at my karaoke place, too. Yeah. So one of the other things I was going to mention is favorite activity to do in San Diego. And this is not San Diego specific, but I love the place that we go on Convoy in Kearny Mesa.
We went there for Courtney's birthday this year.
I've gone there 3 times.
I'll
for
put the footage
too
of
many
that
years.
night
No, you won't.
in a
No, you won't. No, you
video
won't share that.
going
But
forward.
I go I think that was the second time I've been for my birthday. I'm
Yeah,
not very creative, but it's called
Donuts and karaoke.
Wait, it's called Hive, but it's called Knockout Chick. Is it Knockout Chicken?
Knockout Chicken or
Knockout Chicken, which is like Korean rice, Korean style rice fried chicken. So it's the rice flour, and the food is really good, but it's private room karaoke. Oh my gosh, lights out, so much fun. So much fun.
This isn't a food review channel, as Spaniard pointed out.
But for happy hour,
so.
if you want to go to happy hour in San Diego, that's up Kearney Mesa.
We like to eat, and we like to.
And if you want to do karaoke in a private room, so you're not in front of the other people.
What I'm hearing is our next live video needs to just be a 3-way karaoke.
Oh my god.
No one wants that.
Nobody wants that. But I mean, but I would do that.
Yeah,
honestly.
I know you would.
I would do that. Nobody's asking for it, and nobody wants it. But I would definitely do it.
We're gonna have a live performance by
Spaniard.
All of us.
I love karaoke so much.
I know. A little too much. Okay. Oh, Spaniard's back. Okay.
He just said.
Last two questions.
Spaniard just says.
We're trying to keep this one to an
Thanks
hour.
for answering all my questions. May hear from me in the future. Cheers.
All right. Thanks,
I love
Spaniard.
It. Good.
We love you,
I hope
man.
we got all of those. Or woman. We have no idea what the.
Yeah.
There you go. And okay, this really is the last one.
Last question.
Do you see the numbers of buyers getting into the market going up or down? Any insights?
I feel like it's a little bit less than it was like 2 or 3 months ago. Dan, do you agree or no?
100%. There's even more, or there's less mortgage applications at this point, slowly decreasing. But anecdotally, I would say, like within the last month, a significant portion of buyers I have been actively working with have decided to wait it out a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, if you need to wait it out, that's totally fine. And if it's
absolutely
the market for you, don't buy right now. You can just wait 6 months, a year, and when we do these lives, we try to give you the pulse of what's going on in the market right now. And there are less buyers out there, but there's still very competitive offers on a lot of these houses, and they are going over asking pretty consistently. So
yeah, it's not yet affecting the price.
Too, so yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Muhammad Sawyer, I hope that
helps.
Okay, answer
is that
your
it?
question. There you go. Yeah,
all right.
Look at that.
Thank you guys. We kept this one to an hour.
We did.
For the first time, we were able to keep it under an hour. So hopefully you guys found it helpful. And again, we'll try to do this once a month. And keep an eye out on Dan's channel as we also do it over there occasionally as well. And thanks for watching, and catch us next time.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That one.